A few years ago, I was feeling very stuck in my life, eating poorly, scrolling endlessly, and I was feeling so unmotivated. I had goals that I wanted to achieve, but I just couldn't take action. And then, in February 2022, I stumbled upon a video and everything changed. I set myself the challenge of sticking to just one habit for 30 days. And little did I know that this one habit would lead me to another, which led me to another, which led me to another, and before I knew it, I was the productive and driven person that I once dreamed of becoming. And so in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the exact 3-step method that I followed of how I went from someone who was depressed and addicted to my phone to someone who is now living a fulfilling life and I'm able to be productive every day. So let's get straight into it. Step number 1, start small and be realistic. You want to pick just one area of your life that you're going to focus on for the next 30 days and just focus on tackling this one. For example, this might be working on your diet, exercising, studying, or focusing on a work project. One of the biggest mistakes that I made for so many years and that kept me stuck for so long was that I tried to change everything in my life at once. I really expected myself to become the ideal version of me overnight. I would try wake up at 7, go for a run, do yoga, study for 2 hours, read a book. And so as you can imagine, within a day or two of trying to reach these big goals, I would feel completely overwhelmed trying to stick to everything. And so I'd burn out, give up, and end up right back where I started, feeling like a failure. And so don't try and tackle everything at once, because also what naturally tends to happen is when one area of our life starts to improve, sometimes other areas also start to improve without even having to try. It just has a domino effect. And so pick one area for the next 30 days and this is your focus. And now you need to set yourself a realistic goal, and please listen to the key word I'm saying here, realistic goal. This 30-day period is not the time to be trying to push yourself to go to the gym 6 times a week or run a half marathon or study every day for 2 hours. In fact, the whole point of this 30-day period is to grow your confidence, because I'm going to assume that you are someone who has tried to make changes in your life before, but you found it a struggle to keep consistent and you fall off track. And so truthfully, you probably see yourself as someone who isn't able to stick to things, because every time you have tried, you end up falling off and then you feel like a failure. And so in a way, you have lost some confidence in yourself and lost some self-belief. And so this 30-day period is all about increasing your confidence. This is the time to set a realistic goal that, yes, challenges you enough to take action, but it's also realistic enough that you will be able to stick to it. Because what will happen is, by the end of the month, when you've stuck to this habit consistently, you're going to gain some self-belief. Your brain will literally start to view yourself differently, because you will have showed yourself that, yes, you are capable. You are someone who can stick to their own word. So for example, let's say you're someone who doesn't exercise at all, and over the next 30 days you want to go to the gym more. Okay, could a realistic goal be to try and aim to go to the gym twice a week? And if even twice a week feels like too much, can you do once a week? Or let's take the example that you want to start studying more, as currently you procrastinate a lot. Okay, so could a realistic goal be that for 3 days this week you're going to sit down and study for just half an hour? The thing is, a lot of us don't set realistic goals or want to start small because we are impatient. We want fast results, and so we aim too high, we burn out, we give up, and then we feel like a failure. Been there, done that, worn that t-shirt many times. But also, another reason that we don't like to start small is because it's a bit of a hit to our ego to actually acknowledge that we might be on a low level right now. For some of us, the thought of going to the gym twice a week is like, that's pointless. What is that really going to do? I've got so much weight to lose. That's going to take ages. Or what's the point of studying for 30 minutes a day? I've got so much coursework to get through. 30 minutes a day is so pointless. And you have to realize that this all or nothing mindset is the very thing that is stopping you from making any progress. You have to start adopting a growth mindset. Start thinking about how every single action you take today, no matter how big or small, is a step in the right direction. Because the truth is, if you were to do just one push-up today, you would be a better version of yourself compared to yesterday. And if you were to do 2 push-ups tomorrow, well then you would be a better version of yourself compared to today. But many of us are like, that's so stupid and pointless. 1 push-up, what is that going to do? We get lost in this all or nothing mindset, and this stops us from taking any action at all. The truth is, if you want to change, then you have to be patient. Starting small and being realistic is the process of how you make a change, and so you have to stop trying to take shortcuts. Stop trying to get fast results and acknowledge where you are right now. Set yourself a realistic goal that you'll actually be able to stick to over the next 30 days, and then this is going to grow your confidence. And honestly, the reason I'm being so blunt is because I wish I had someone say this to me, because I failed for so many years because I was impatient. I was setting myself big goals, aiming too high, and I failed every time. And so focus on tackling one area of your life and set a realistic goal. Step number 2 is to be prepared beforehand. One of the biggest obstacles to building a new habit is not setting yourself up for success. Because when something is difficult or requires too much effort, naturally we are going to then face resistance. And that resistance often leads to inaction. And so to overcome this, you need to think ahead and prepare in a way that removes any obstacles that might get in your way so that you can make this new behavior as effortless as possible. So here are 2 strategies to help you do this. Number 1, have clarity on the task and timing. You need to start being very specific on what is the task you are doing and when are you doing it so that you have a clear plan. So for example, instead of saying this week I'm going to go to the gym twice, instead you want to look at the week ahead and be like, okay, on Monday and on Thursday I'm going to go to the gym at 7 a.m. before work. I'm going to work out for 40 minutes and this is the exact session that I'm going to do. Or another example could be, instead of saying this week my goal is to meal prep twice a week, instead you want to prepare ahead of time and be like, on Tuesday and Sunday I'm going to meal prep at 5 p.m. Here's the exact recipes I'm going to do, and on Monday afternoon I'm going to get all the ingredients. When you have exact clarity on what it is you're doing and when you're doing it, this makes it easier for you to take action on the day because you're not faffing about. There's no room for hesitation because you've made all of these decisions beforehand, and so now on the day all you need to do is follow through. And the second strategy to prepare beforehand is to set up your environment for success, because honestly how you set up your environment literally has the power to either make or break your new behavior. For example, let's say you want to work out at 8 a.m. in the morning. A good way to set yourself up for success is the night before, lay out all of your workout clothes and pack your gym bag so that when you wake up everything is ready for you to just grab it and go. A few other examples could be that if you want to read more, well then keep your book by your bedside. If you want to drink more water, then constantly carry a water bottle with you. But as well as adding things into your environment, you also want to think about, what can I remove? For example, if you're wanting to snack less, well then remove the snacks from your cupboard so that you don't see them. If you're wanting to study more and focus, well then remove all of the clutter from your desk and remove your phone from the room so that when you sit down to focus, your environment is set up ready for you to take action. You need to start taking the time to plan ahead and think to yourself, how can I set my future self up for success? How can the Heather today prepare in advance so that the Heather tomorrow is more successful? What decisions and actions can I take today that make her life easier so that when she is in that moment, she'll be able to take action on her goal? Be prepared beforehand by having clarity on your task and its timing and setting your environment up for success. And finally, the third step is to create a habit tracker. A habit tracker is basically just a calendar of the month that you stick on your wall and you mark off each day with an X as you go through the month so that you can visually see your progress. And honestly, this sounds so small and simple, but this method is so effective in helping you to stay on track. And it's even backed up by science. Because when you can see your progress every day, this gives you motivation and creates a sense of accountability. Honestly, I can't tell you how many times in the past I would come home from work and I would not feel like exercising, but I would see my habits tracker on the wall full of X's and I would be like, oh, I can't stop now. I can't break my streak. The thing is, scientists have discovered that humans are naturally wired to not want to break the streak. This is exactly why social media apps like Snapchat use streaks, because it taps into our human psychology of our desire to keep the momentum and keep it going. Research has also shown that the simple act of just ticking off your completed habit each day actually gives you a small dopamine boost. And dopamine is the neurotransmitter that is linked to pleasure and motivation. And so this dopamine boost signals to your brain, hey, yeah, I like doing this behavior, which then reinforces it as something positive. And so then you become more motivated to repeat the habit, which makes it easier and easier for you to consistently stick to it over time. I hope this video helped. If you're wanting to learn more about discipline, then click this video and learn how boredom can help you to be more disciplined. Thank you for watching the video. All the best.